Hi, Joy.
Hi,
Hi.
Timothy.
Hi, Joy. Okay, you've been referred to me by Paul Young. Is that right? You came from Paul's class?
No, it's a Lorena class. Yes, Paul. Yes.
Yeah, Paul Young. Yes.
Paul. Yes, advanced.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, right.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're here and ready, and just a few moments away. So bear with me. I probably will be a little quiet. I'm trying to get things loaded and ready to start the class, and I'm going to start right at 5. So it's not going to be anything later. And if people join us later, they can just come then.
Okay.
Now, okay, let me just see.
Yeah, I'm just today first time.
Okay, well, it's my first time doing this class, so I'm really anxious to see. I'm excited to see how it's going to go, but I know the material very well. It's I just want to get through the technology. That's the biggest challenge, to make sure that I have PowerPoint slides and I have a lot of information. I even have a video I would like to share. Well, let me see if I can load the video right now.
Okay.
Let's see. How do I? Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm going to come over here. Okay.
Hi, Timothy.
Yes.
Yeah. How many attended in this time, in this Zoom meeting?
This is my first time doing this, and I have about 10 people, or more than that, who have said they will come. One person said she will come probably not right at 5 o'clock when it begins, but a little bit later. I also noticed, I was looking at Eventbrite, that's where I had the notices, the invites. And I see that there's one person by the name of Clara or Carla. She had logged on at 4 o'clock. I tried to communicate with her to tell her that she was early. But I see she left.
Yeah, today is the first time.
Well, I have a person, here comes another one right now. I have a person from, 2 people from China who will be joining us.
Okay.
And one from Shanghai and one from
Beijing.
Now here's a person by the
Uh-huh.
name of Alejandra. She looks a little familiar. Red hair. Let me see their profile. That's my daughter, by the way.
Oh, it's
Oh,
the same last name.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's my
yeah,
daughter.
nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's red.
Wow, pretty hair.
Thank
Matches
you.
matches your sweater. Oh, I
Oh,
have
wow.
so I'm
Yeah.
expecting well, two people from, as I said, from China and
Uh-huh.
a man from Indonesia, possibly. He couldn't
Oh,
come, but he was recommending somebody, a friend of his, to come in his place.
okay.
So I'm hoping he will
Ah,
log on. Now in Indonesia right now, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning.
oh,
Whereas in Beijing, if the people come in from Beijing and Shanghai, it's 9 o'clock.
uh-huh. Ah, yeah,
And
right.
so I'm trying to get all the time zones. And I've invited people from the East Coast, USA, which would be 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. there. So I think I've hit all
Yeah.
the bases, except Europe. Europe, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I can't do
Oh,
anything about that.
yeah.
Um, then I have Jean. She's actually my publisher up in San Francisco area. She said she's going to come. And so I have a few people. I have some nuns. Perhaps, Joy, you know the nuns. Were you in a class with Sister Serafrica and Sister Asusena? Did you know them, Joy? No.
No.
Okay. They finished, I think, maybe a year ago, so they were ahead of you. But
Uh,
they're they're not like your typical nuns. They're very, very, very vivacious, and they love to play
okay.
sports. I mean, my gosh. So,
Okay.
well, it is now 5 o'clock. I'm going to start the intro in just a minute. I was hoping that everybody would be here on time so we could introduce ourselves a little bit, but that can come later. I can start the program and then later we can break off when people get here and we can introduce ourselves. So what I'm going to do right now, and it's my first chance with the technology to see if it works, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start with my intro here. Let me see what I can do. I'm got to share the screen. So I'm new at the technology, so bear with me a little bit as I do it. I got to share the screen. Here we go. And how come I can't? There we go. Okay, right here. And okay, I'm going to share this right now. Okay, I'm going to start over here with oh, it worked. There we go. Okay, I'm going to start from right here. Okay, there's somebody else coming in here too. Okay. Can you hear it?
Oh, yes.
No,
No.
you cannot hear. So that means I have to do something here. Let me just see, what do I do here? How do I share the audio that's coming from the computer? You know, Alejandra?
Yeah, if you unplug your headphones,
Oh, uh-huh.
because the audio has to come from your computer speakers, and then your computer microphone will pick it up.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying here. Let me try. Okay, well, too far. I gotta go back here. All right, let me do it again. Here we go. All right, the grand introduction, and we have, okay, that's Kyori. Are you Stella or are you Cassie? Oh, you got to unmute. There we go.
I'm Kaori.
You're Kyrie. Oh, okay. Are you from Paul Young's class?
Michael Javier.
Oh, Michael Javier. Oh, good.
Yes.
Was a very good friend of mine at Evans. Yes, he said he's going to
Really?
recommend people. Well, welcome, Karoe.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm Tim Wahl. I'm teaching this class. It's on American football. It's based on my book, Footballogy. You see a picture of it there. can you see the screen right now? Do you see the screen? It's
Yes.
Footballogy. Yeah, okay. That's the, I might even do it like this instead of running to each slide full screen. That way I can see you and you can see me. That might be a better way of doing it, except you can't hear the beautiful audio introduction I had. Let me just try that, see what happens here. Let me try it one more time. Okay, here we go. Can you hear it? You
No
can't hear it?
sound.
No. What's going on? Well, okay. Okay. Well, all right. I'll have to stop the share. Okay, I'm going to admit a few other people here and we'll just, okay, where do I admit them here? Good, we got 7 people so far. But okay. All right. Good. 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 All right. We have, oh, look at all these lovely faces coming on here. Ah. Oh, okay. Well,
Hi, hi,
yes.
teacher. How are you?
So
Lovely to see you again.
Nice to see you again too. I'm very glad that you could come, and I see that you invited Jean Paul.
Yeah,
Hello,
we
Thank
did. We did.
And down at the bottom, I see a picture of that's Stella, right? Stella, can you hear me? You're going to have to
Yes.
there you go.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, okay, I'm ready to begin this show, and I'm glad you were able to come. But I'm having a little trouble sharing the audio from my computer. I don't know how that's done on PowerPoint. I tried it this afternoon and it worked fine, but I didn't have another computer to see if it came out on it. It comes out fine on mine, but on the other computer, I cannot seem to share the audio. So let me just admit one more here. Here's Jean. Okay. Hi, Jean.
Hi.
Okay. Hi. Okay. I was having right off the bat, this is Jane. So we can have an introduction now. My name is Tim Wahl. I'm the author of the book Footballogy: Elements of American Football for Non-Native Speakers of English. And it's published by ESL Publishing up near San Francisco. And this class that we are taking now is based loosely on a section of the book where I talk about the Super Bowl. That's the big event you've probably been hearing about on the radio and TV and in the newspapers, the internet. It's coming up this coming weekend. It's a big time sporting event in the United States. And so that's essentially why I'm here for, is to inform you and inspire you and hopefully engage you with the Super Bowl. So the class is relatively short, so I'm not really going to go around it, give us time to introduce each other, but we can see each other's names and we'll leave it at that for now. Joy, I know, in fact, I can take care of that. Joy is from Paul Young's class at AFOC's adult school in Los Angeles. And then Alejandra Wahl is my daughter.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then down below is Coyote. She's from Michael Javier's class at Evans Adult School. Michael and I used to work together, and Michael is a great guy, and so is Paul Young. I was lucky to have such beautiful people to work with. And then we have Jean Paul in the middle. He's from yes, he's from Brazil. Am I right?
Yeah.
Brazil. And then we have the Sisters of Los Angeles. And on our right, as we look at the screen, is Sister South Africa, and on the left is Sister Azucena, both from Paraguay.
Yes.
And down below we have Stella, you are in the morning, right? You're in Beijing,
Yes.
right? Beijing.
Oh, wow.
And on the lower right is my publisher, my one
Oh,
and
wow.
only, the extraordinary Gene Sloan. So now I'm going to, unfortunately, the audio did not work, so I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to try this anyway and see if it'll work. If not, we'll just proceed with the class because I don't want to let the technology get in the way of the presentation. So I'm going to share some of the class with you right now. Okay. Okay, I'm playing a video. It's just a short 1-minute video, if that works. Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
No.
Note.
Can you hear? Can you hear? No. Well,
No.
okay. All right. Okay, so that one, it didn't work. I'm having a class on, it's only a 1-minute video giving us the basics of football, but this is not really about the basics. I'm assuming that you might know a little bit about the game, but just in case, I want to cover the bases. So on Friday's presentation, I'll get the glitches straightened out and I will be able to present that. There's something I must be doing wrong here about sharing. I'm going to proceed now with the actual presentation. And it involves another slide here. Okay, this class is it's going to be about 40 minutes long, and it could up to an hour, no more than an hour, and it's a primer to the premier experience in American football, and that is the Super Bowl. And we're going to tonight we're having one half of the session, which is about some of the basic stuff, the general information, and about the two teams that are performing. But there's more to the Super Bowl, a lot more than just a game. And that's what we're going to get into a little bit tonight and more in detail on Friday night. And I hope you can join us then. And I know in China, it would be your Thursday morning now, and then the next session would be Saturday morning. So that's me, my picture, and down at the bottom is my book, Footballogy. It's available at Amazon and other online booksellers. So let me just proceed to the next one here. Oops. And there's my book right there. And as you can see, it's available at right there, print and ebooks available online. Okay, I'm not going to be harping on the book anymore. Let me just. Can you hear that? Can you hear?
Yes. Yes.
Yes? No?
Yes.
All right. Okay, I'm going to read myself. This is the general information about the Super Bowl for you to view and or listen to the Super Bowl, either on television or online or listening to it on the radio. The Super Bowl is a #1 event in American football, in American sporting culture. It's every February, the first February in the year. As you see, this year it's February 7th, 2001. Super Bowls are noted by their sequence in numerical sequence, and they are denoted by, on the left, you will see Roman numerals. And we have the Roman numeral LV for the Super Bowl. What does LV stand for? Anybody know? Do you know your Roman numerals?
Not that high.
Okay, I couldn't hear very well, but 55, I think somebody said, and that's absolutely correct.
Oh,
And locally, it's on the CBS television network. In Los Angeles, it's Channel 2. And I know some of you are coming in from Los Angeles. Then it has down here the broadcast team and the radio. Those of us not in the United States, and that's one of us right now, the information for international access is down below. And you can have that, you can access that through that link, and that will tell you where you can listen to it in your country. And you can send this to, maybe you're not in your country, you're here, but you can still send that to a friend of yours back home. So,
Excuse me.
yes.
Yeah, okay. What is LV?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What is LV?
LV. 55.
Oh,
LV.
55. 55.
LV stands for 55.
Okay,
Yes.
thanks.
So, I don't know why my. Okay. Yes. Hi, Steve. Steve joined us down below. Good. Good to see you again. Good. So we're starting on the Super Bowl. So I'm glad that we're having more people come in. All right. So, let me look at my notes here. Okay. Super Bowl. Let me go to the next slide here. The Super Bowl in the United States pits two of the best professional football teams against each other. And Americans go wild about the game, and they go equally wild about the events around the game. We're going to discuss both in this class. Part of it tonight, and then the rest will be on Friday. And this year, the contestants is a team from Kansas City called the Kansas City Chiefs, and the other one is from Tampa, Florida, in the Southeast United States, called the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll get to more about them in a moment. But remember the word that I just used, best? Well, we're going to segue into a little brief English lesson revolving around the word best. Now, I know many of you know you can do comparisons. I'm sharing the screen right now. And we have, oh, come on. All right, what's going on now? There we go. Good, better, the best. Well, we know that good is an adjective, and it's a comparison. It's an irregular adjective. Good, better, and best. Would somebody read the caption under adjective? Did I have somebody read that? How about Sister, I'm going to call on somebody. Sister Sir Africa, would you read that?
Yes, okay. The Cowboys are a good team.
And read the next two.
Okay. The Bears are a better team than the Cowboys. The Packers are the best team compared to all the rest.
Good, great. As we can see, and I know many of you know this, but a lot of it, I've taught ESL for many years, a lot of times people will forget to put on the for the last one when it's superlative. So we always have to say the. Now, the next thing we're going to get into is the verb. It's not that common, but the adjective good, better, and best. Best can be used as a verb. How about Jean-Paul? Would you read the Bills?
The Bills, the best team, the
Bested.
best the Gentes.
Giants.
Giants, 49-27.
49-27. Okay, they bested. So what does bested mean? Anybody, in that context, what does bested mean? Anybody want to take a guess? Take a wild guess. Use your imagination. Can you think of another word, a synonym? A word that is similar to bested? All right, let me ask you this. What does, many of us follow football or soccer, we call it in the United States. Let's say Argentina or Brazil plays Argentina. And what did Brazil do to Argentina?
Beat?
Beat, exactly. The Bills bested the Giants, Argentina bested, or Brazil bested Argentina. It means beat.
Okay.
Another one. And the next thing. Bested by a little. Example, 28-24. All right. In this column, bested by a little. Who wants to read that? How about, let me get Joy. Would you read that column?
Yeah. By a little.
Edged.
Squirted by. Nipped.
Good.
Nipped.
Yes.
Sneaked past.
Sneaked past. And last one.
Squared.
Well, good.
Squared.
All right. Good. You know, I'm here to help. I'm not criticizing. By doing this, I'm not, I'm just here to help. And your pronunciation was good, Joy, except for a couple things I noted. And these are words to mean that you win. We're going to get into win and beat in a little bit too, but you win a game by just a few points. I have an example, 28-24, 17-16. And now, beat by a lot, 49-7, 38-14. How about, I got to call somebody new. How about Alejandra? Did you read under by a lot? Alejandra?
Didn't hear my name, sorry. Okay, by a lot. Clobbered, routed, drubbed, thrashed, trounced, crushed.
Okay, and I got it. That was very good, as I would expect anyway. She's my daughter, and she's a native speaker, so if her pronunciation seemed out of this world, well, it's because she speaks English as her natural language. But clobbered, routed, drubbed, thrashed, trounced, crushed, they can mean beat, but by a lot. Isn't English beautiful? It has so many different ways of expressing the same thing. Now, either we have defeated, beat, and overcame. What's the last one down there? How about Stella? Would you read that? The last one?
Yeah. Either defeated, beat, overcame, shut out when the loser doesn't score. Example, 17 and 0.
Good. Okay, yes, okay. A lot of people would say 0, and I think in maybe England, they might say that, or nil. They will use another word. We say 17-0.
Okay.
Down below, 17-0. When that's called a shutout. So we might use a sentence like this. Tampa Bay, one of the contestants in the game, shut out Kansas City, 17-0. And I probably should, well, maybe later on. I have something like it was really a joke. It's really not relevant, so I'm not going to say it now, but maybe later if we have time. Let me go on here. And there's the scoreboard. And one final note on the lower right, you see that in American English, the victor is always before the loser. Rams beat 49ers 24-14. Now compare that with British English. In British English, they'll always list the home team second. So they might say, I can't think of British teams, but Manchester United, 3. Then Bristol, 5. Well, that would be 3 to 5. Well, we don't do it that way in English. You know, we always say the winning team is always listed first. So, okay. By the way, can you see me in the picture? I can see myself, but I'm not coming through. You can see me? Oh, good. I'm really, well, that makes me feel good. Okay. We have here, the logo on the left is the NFL. What does the NFL stand for? Anybody know? Take a
National
guess.
football.
Yes, Joy, you're right on. National Football League.
League.
And they are the ones that supervise or organize the Super Bowl. And the National Football League, you will notice at the top, they have a picture of a football, and then they have 8 stars. I'll get back to that in a moment. First, to the right, we have the helmets of the 2 teams that are contesting in the Super Bowl. The first one at the top is the Kansas City Chiefs. And down below, I have they have a regular season record. Each team in the National Football League has a schedule of 16 games. So 14-2. Does anybody want to take a guess what that means? 14 means what? Means how many what? How many? Remember, listen to my clue. They played 16 games in the future, in the season. And they finished with a 14-2 record. So 14 means how many games they won, and 2 means how many games they lost. And the Kansas City Chiefs is from the American Football Conference. Down below is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are, let's see. Yeah, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are from the National Football Conference. And they have a season record of 11 wins and 5 losses. Exactly, 5 losses. You will notice on both teams, I have in parentheses, that's so in parentheses, 16-2 for Kansas City and 14-5 for Tampa Bay. That means now Friday night, I'm going to get into the playoff structure, how they get to play in the Super Bowl. When the season is over, they must play other teams that qualify to get into the Super Bowl tournament, if you will want to call it that. And that means the Kansas City Chiefs played 2 extra games to come up with a season record of 16-2, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they had to play 3 extra games to come up with a record of 14-5. That's the statistics of their season record. One thing I'm going to get into more on Friday is statistics, because if you want to follow an American football game, in fact, an American sporting event of anything, you've got to know statistics or know something, a little something about it. It will help you, not only talk about football, but when you're meeting people in the outside world, in business or at work, people talk about football, and it's nice to know that, for example, Tom Brady, the quarterback, the leader of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is the oldest player in sports. Okay. I was going to say, I had a message that came up from Zoom, and that detracted me here. Yeah, statistics is really a big part of really it's an American passion. To give you an example, I just wanted the records here. One time I was in England and I stopped into a pub, and the blokes in the pub, they had a soccer game on. Well, they call it football. We in America, we call it soccer. Same thing. So I asked a question that you would ask another sporting person. They were cheering for this one team, and I said, "Oh, what's their record?" Record would be like Kansas City 14-2, Tampa Bay 11-5. Well, if you follow a team, you know the team's record. Well, they looked at one another, and they looked at me, and they said, "Well, I really don't know." They guessed. One person said, "I think they won about 7 games." Another person said, "No, they won more than that." But they didn't know. It wasn't important to them. Just the game was important. I'm not sure if it's like that in other cultures or not, but in American culture, in our society, we're really big on statistics. So enough said. Here we go. These little teams. Okay, how do I? Okay, well, you can't hear that. I have an audio track going, but you can't hear it. No. Okay, this is the National Football League. We have 2 conferences: the American Football Conference and the NFC, the National Football Conference. Now, back to the previous slide when I showed you the NFL logo and it had 8 stars. Well, it represents the 8 conferences: 4 in the National Football Conference and 4 in the American Football Conference. Now, looking at the teams, maybe you recognize some. The AFC North, it's teams from Cincinnati, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. AFC East, I gotta say this one with pride, the Buffalo Bills. They broke my heart. They could have been in the Super Bowl. They lost to Kansas City. I'll wait till next year. Then we have, these are all the teams. Do you recognize a team here that, well, the ones in the NFC, down below, the NFC West, we have our local team in Los Angeles. It's called what? What's their nickname? What are they called? Can I hear it? Anybody?
Rams.
The Rams. And Rams are like, they're like sheep, ovejas, with long horns. Then we have the Arizona, they're called the Cardinals. In my book, I get into all about the teams. I have a lot of interesting information about each team in the book, and it would take me too long to describe it here, but it's very interesting about, you see the one under the Rams, the Arizona Cardinals? Well, that's a bird, right? Did you know, well, I don't think you did, not many people do, but the Arizona Cardinals, that's the oldest team in the National Football League. They've been around since the 1890s. Actually, that's when they started. And then they joined in the National Football League in 1920 as the Chicago Cardinals. And they moved around quite a bit. But did you know, or you didn't, but the Arizona Cardinals are not named after a bird. They're named after a color. Back in the old days, in the 1890s, their uniforms, the owner of the team said that he dressed his team in what he called cardinal red. And so it was the color of the uniform that stuck. And then over time, the bird became the logo. Well, we see the teams. Let me ask you, looking at this here, who can tell me what in each conference, there's a division, like the AFC North, South, East, and West. What conference is the Kansas City Chiefs from?
AFC West. Right.
Yeah, right on. What conference is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from?
What dijo? Buccaneers.
It's from the NFC.
Que no sé.
South. You're right. Towards the right, the NFC South is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's their nickname. And there's the teams right there. And their location. All right, I have a couple of questions here about this. Now, we may look at the map of the United States. I'm assuming that we all are familiar with this, of what it looks like. We see in California, how many teams are in the state of California?
1, 2, 3.
There are 3 teams. What are they? The Rams.
San
I'll give you one.
Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco. Does anybody know their nickname?
No.
49ers. 49ers. Like I say, I have a lot of information in my book about where they got their names and stuff, and it's all very exciting. I love history, and I really enjoyed this part about the writing of the book, researching each team, where they came from. You'll notice one team is in Nevada. They used to be in California. We used to have 4 teams in California. The Raiders moved to Nevada. Okay. There are 2 other states that have 3 teams. Can we identify these states? They're in the eastern part of the United States.
Florida.
There's one, yes.
Florida.
And then there's one more.
New
Florida.
York? No, New York. ¿Cómo se llama esta?
It's going to be really hard to tell from this map, but it's you see the one in the upper right, it says Jets. They're the New York Jets.
New York.
And then, yes, the New York Giants. Yes, I remember Jean Paul mentioned that earlier.
And I was like,
And there's one more team in New York. What team is that? Anybody? Think of me. Come on.
What is it be?
What? One more team. Come on.
the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yes. But you got to say it. You've got to say it with reverence.
Buffalo.
Yes. I'm only kidding about that. I mean, I like all the teams, but one team I like more than the others, and that's the Buffalo Bills, because that's where I'm from.
All right.
I grew up near there. Okay. Now, as I said earlier, we have win versus beat. You beat a team, but you win a game. Win one, have one, beat, have beat. What do you win? A game, a trophy. Who you beat? A person, a team. All right, who wants to read those sentences down below there? How about Jean-Paul, are you there?
Yes.
Can you read those?
Yes. Do you think the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl? No, I think the Bucks will beat the Chiefs.
Good. So you can see you win is what you win. The Super Bowl. Now, Brazil in soccer, what do they often win? They win the what? In soccer, what do they win? The World Cup, right? So they win the World Cup, but they beat. I forgot who played in the last World Cup. My goodness, I should remember that. I watched it. But anyway, what you win is a trophy. And you beat, who you beat is the team. Or if it's a game like tennis, it's the other person. Okay. Or in the Olympics, it's the gold medal, or silver medal, or bronze. All right, let me go on here. So, which is correct? See in the upper right of the screen, which is correct? Miami beat or Miami beats? Anybody tell me, which one is correct?
Miami Beats.
Miami Beats.
The top one or the bottom one?
Top.
The
Top. All right, now, okay, Miami, yeah, Miami is, I should say, is third person singular, so it's going to be it. You're right, Miami Beat. That's correct. But is the bottom one okay also? Is the bottom one all right? Miami Beats? Miami Beat? Miami Beat,
Yeah,
we said
because-
was right. Miami Beats, is that correct?
Miami.
yeah, because it is a person
Yeah.
continuous.
What's
Yeah.
the difference between the two? What's the difference? One is
In the past.
past, and then one is present. Which one's past? It's a little bit of a trick question, I guess. Miami
It
Beach
is.
past.
It is very tricky.
I know, tricky. Tricky. I think in Spanish we say que tranza, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. Next slide. Super.
Super Bowl.
Did you know super means very? An adverb modifies an adjective, which modifies a noun. The Kansas City Chiefs are a very good team or a super good team. Got a kin con studio. Okay. Now, it's good as an adjective. It modifies a noun. So super can mean very as an adverb. Good, super can mean just good. And it's an adjective, modifies a noun. The Kansas City Chiefs are a super team.
Team.
Super. And don't confuse, by the way, the spelling of super is how many P's? How many P's in super?
Super.
Just one.
One. Yeah, that's right. Just one P.
One piece.
P's. What do you got? Two P's is supper. Supper.
Okay, you're right.
Supper
Yes.
is good.
Supper, but that doesn't mean anything like that. That's your last meal of the day. Supper. Like the Last Supper. Heard of that, I'm sure. And like in places like Argentina, they eat supper quite late in the day. Am I right? I know
Yeah,
some
you're
people-
right.
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
Super good.
All right. Go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, trying to see how I can. I'm hearing the music and I don't know what. There we go. This is, well, the Super Bowl, and we have all these words that Super Bowl can mean, and it came from, well, we're going to read the passage in the middle there. I'll let somebody read that. Maybe I'll have Sister Azucena read that. But before she does that, at the very top, we have groovy, far out of sight, and super. These are words that evolved in the, as far as I know, the 1960s. So I'm going to call on Sister Azucena. Would you read the
Yes.
passage down below?
The text.
Yes, the whole thing,
Yeah.
beginning with the origin.
Okay. The origin of the term Super Bowl is not certain. However, many believe that Lamar Hunt coined the phrase in the 1960s when pop culture included the Beatles and I don't know how to say that word. Psychedelic art, new words crept into the culture. Words like tremendous, unbelievable, and great were replaced by groovy and super. At that time, there was a small rubber ball that became popular. Labeled the Super Bowl, it could bounce over a three-story building with very little energy. Hunt's children had won. The power of this ball, the fact that it grit,
Rhymed,
rhymed,
rhymed.
rhymed with ball, the established name for a postseason college game, may have inspired Hunt's casual mentions of Super Bowl in meetings. The term received attention and by the third A- AFC and NFC, sorry, championship Super Bowl was the official name.
Good, very good. Okay, thank you, Asuseno. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, teacher.
And Lamar Hunt was the founder of the Kansas City Chiefs of the American Football League. He was also a founder of, well, you could say now it's part of the NFL. So he was one of the early people in the discovery of the NFL. I didn't have this in the presentation, but we had a word found. You see founder down below in red? Founder means to discover something. Like you have a founder of a city. Well, a person who discovers a city, he's the founder. He's called the founder. Like Christopher Columbus is credited as the founder of the New World. So we have found. It's also a verb, which I don't have that up, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But found, you know, the verb find, it's in the present, found in the past, and found in the past participle. Well, now that's an irregular verb. Now we have found, which is a regular verb, and it ends with ed. Found, founded, and has founded. And that means to discover something. So let's move on. Okay, there we go. That's what we saw in the 1960s, the time of the Super Bowl. Weren't they lovely people? I lived during that time, but I wasn't really a part of them. I was my own person. I was really quite independent. But anyway, that's a good picture as any of the people. They were called flower children or hippies.
Hippies.
All right, the Super Bowl, as I said, we're going to discuss this more, we're going to discuss this year's Super Bowl more on Friday night. But the Super Bowl is really, it's about more than a game. And we had, the first Super Bowl was January 15th, 1967. And it was right here in Los Angeles, California at the Coliseum. And it featured a team that's playing this week, the Kansas City Chiefs. And they were against the Green Bay Packers. Back in that day, now, as I mentioned, the Super Bowl is more than just a game. It's about the halftime or the entertainment that goes on before the game and at halftime, that's right in the middle of the game. In the beginning, in 1967, it was just a marching band. One of the bands called the Grambling State University Tiger Marching Band from Louisiana. And they were like, well, you see in the upper right. And then years later, this is 1982, was a group called Up With People. They were very wholesome, clean cut, very nice looking young men and women. There's not a black mark or there's not a sin that they ever committed. They were so pure like that, supposedly. And they were very popular in the early Super Bowls. We have a famous actress who is a member of Up With People. And I don't think you would know if I asked you who it was, but this actress, her name was Glenn Close. Have you heard of Glenn Close, the actress? I see some people nodding their head, and some people say, no, well, I can't. She's a famous movie actress, and let's see if I can get the chat box to work. Well, later on, whoops, something happened here. I can't think of any movie she's been in, but she's a famous actress. And the Super Bowl, the halftime, it got more sophisticated. I gotta mute the sound here. You'll see Michael Jackson. We know who Michael Jackson is. He was in 1993. And then on the right is something a lot more recent, was in 2016. We had international superstar Coldplay perform at the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, California. And he was backed up by Gustavo Dudamel. He's the director of the Los Angeles Philharmonic Youth Orchestra. He also has a, did I say youth? He's the director of the LA Philharmonic Orchestra. And he also organized a group called the LA Youth Orchestra. And that's anybody in Los Angeles who wants to play an instrument. They have to be 5 years of age, but up to the age of 19. If you have any children in LA, you want to learn to play an instrument, you can contact the LA Philharmonic and they will give you a free instrument and free lessons and a chance to be in the LA Youth Orchestra. The only thing is you, the parent and the child, needs to make a commitment to practice. That's it. Okay, Super Bowl week is here. You're going to see a lot of what we call hype about the event. The Roman numeral, LV. All Super Bowls are in Roman numeral, except Super Bowl 50. They had regular ordinal numbers, 50. And I get a charge out of in the middle, it says shop now. Well, that's what it's all about. It's a very commercial extravaganza, and you can spend a lot of money on the Super Bowl. And tickets in the first Super Bowl, the tickets to attend the game live was $15. Now they're in the thousands of dollars. And if you can get a ticket. And of course, the merchandise, they make a lot of money that way. So, all right, before we close, it wouldn't be a class without a test.
Where?
We have, okay. We have ELF, we have number one. What three choices are correct? Who wants to read the question for number one and give us the answer? How about, who have I called on yet? Somebody, all right, Sisters of Africa, how about you reading number one? Are you there?
Where on earth is Super Bowl LV played? In Florida, in Tampa, in the Gulf of Mexico, and in the Southeast USA.
So there are three choices. So what choices are correct? A, B,
Okay.
C. Okay, you tell me.
Okay, A, B, and D.
A, B, and D. That's right. Obviously not in the Gulf of Mexico. That's right out in the water. By the way, LV, what does that stand for? Super Bowl LV, what does it stand for?
50.
55.
55, sorry.
Look at Roman numerals. The L is 50 and V
And the
is 5. Yes. Okay, number two. How about Joy? You want to read number two?
Okay. What were the pairs that do not mean super? It's a cool outer sight, B for out, groovy, C good, very, for excellent, terrific. Hey teachers, is this the trick question? It's a super, it's not mean, is E. Hey teacher, is this the question?
Very good. Yes. All right, Joy. Yes, that's right. All those other
Yeah.
ones mean super. So you can use super in any way you want. That was actually number three, so we'll go back to number two. Oh, let me pick on Judy. Okay. How about, all right, how about Jean-Paul? You want to do number 2?
Only one is correct. Who played the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl 55. Okay, who is playing? This one you got to think about, but why don't you read the answer choices first? A, B, C, D. Who is playing?
Lê tudo, Jean-Paul. Lê tudo.
The better team from AFC and NFC, the NFL and AFL champion, the best team for AFC and NFC, up you people.
And the correct answer? Better.
The better.
Better teams from AFC.
AFC and
Okay,
Is it right?
what is that? What letter?
A.
Oh, I heard somebody say it a minute ago. All right, the better teams. Remember the comparisons of the adjective good, better, and the best? So you can't say the better
best
teams.
For
Yes, the best teams.
AFC.
That's right. And that's letter C. Good. And number 4. Oh, let's go back to, let's try
Sister,
As gráficas aí, amor.
okay. Which choice does not express the future? Super Bowl LV is played February 7th, 2021. Super Bowl are played the first Sunday in February. The Super Bowl will be played next Sunday. Fans are hosting online Super Bowl parties. Which choice does not express? Okay.
D.
D?
Yes, absolutely right. Yes. The correct answer. Now you notice all these sentences are written in the present tense. And I know if you had my classes before, I would go over this quite a bit, or not quite a bit, but I would go over it. But the present tense is used to express the future. If it is used in a schedule or an itinerary. And the one there, B, it's present tense, but it means all the time, not just coming Sunday, but every year. So letter B is the one that does not express the future. Okay, I have a couple of links. Now I'm recording this. I hope it's recorded. I hit record, but I don't see the record button at the top.
It is.
No, but I think it's recorded. But anyway, I'm planning on posting this to YouTube, my YouTube channel right afterwards. And these are the links to things that you might be interested in about learning the Super Bowl. Top one, the first bullet, the little dot at on the right left-hand side, that's called a bullet, like boom, boom from a gun, a bullet. And it's Super Bowl history. I read it over, and I think if you are advanced ESL learners, you would do okay reading that, but have a dictionary handy just in case. And then you can even download some, this is from an ESL site. These are some worksheets on Super Bowl, or mostly geared for teachers, but you can download them yourselves and use them. And then something that's fun, people, we're going to discuss this more on Friday night, but the commercials, the TV commercials is one thing that people talk about. In addition to the game, Monday morning after game, guaranteed, somebody will say, did you see the commercials yesterday? And yes, that will spark a lot of conversation because the commercials are funny, they're mysterious, they're like miniature movies in less than 1 minute. And they cost the companies a lot of money. In the beginning, the first years of the Super Bowl back in 1967. It was like $20,000 for a 30-second commercial. Now, oh brother, it's in the tens of millions of dollars for them to do a short 30-second commercial. And so they've got to be good. And people talk about them the next day. And finally, down below, the last bullet at the bottom, for more information on footballogy, you can recommend this to a friend if you want, as well as yourself, is my book at Amazon.com. When you go there, just put in footballogy. After you're on Amazon, type in footballogy. I tried it tonight. Footballogy is the first thing that surfaces. So you'll be in luck there. And it's both available in ebook as well as print. And I have something in case you want to, in case you are into puzzles, if you email me, my email address, I'll give it to you before I leave. This is a word search, and you can, it's a PDF, and you can download it, have some fun. Some of the words that we're searching here are going to be used in the presentation on Friday. So if you email me, I think it would help me sort through the emails. If in the subject line, you would put down PDF, and I would get it that way.
Okay.
And that's a fun worksheet, word search. And here we go. Well, I had some nice music playing with this, and it's not here. I have a survey, but that's the old one. I have the survey on the next page over here. Yeah, right here. The end. Survey monkey down at the bottom. If you go to that link and take a survey, I have 9 or 10 questions and just a little bit about the class. And it's going to help me make the class better in the future. I don't know how long, I don't have my watch on me, but I think I exceeded, not by much, just an hour. That's about what I planned on, was for an hour. Unfortunately, Zoom, which normally has a 40-minute limit, but they didn't cut me off. So I'm having a session again on Friday night, the same time. It's going to be a little more specific, and I'm going to try to get the audio thing straightened out before then, so that we can have a the audio, because the audio, you know, I had some nice stuff in there that I really wanted you to have, but we didn't. In closing, is there any question that you have about the game or about the English that we went over, or other questions?
Let me see. Okay. I do not have any questions, but thank you, teacher. Actually, didn't know, I didn't know anything about football. But thank you. I'll be next this Friday. Okay.
Okay, I see I have some questions in the chat box. Let me see what they are. Okay. Oh, okay. I got, okay, that's great. Okay. So, okay, yeah, on Friday we'll have another class, and you can invite anybody you want. I mean, I'll admit anybody. I have lots of room. I have, well, as we say in English, the more the merrier. And I'd like to have a discussion. I was doing some stuff on Voice of America, and they have a nice format. It's a show called Talk to Us, and we let the participants do most of the talking. We might just have we talk a little bit, we make a presentation, but then everybody, we engage. And so I really shouldn't be the one to do all the talking, but then I'm teaching what football is all about, and I'm trying to connect it with a little English learning too, to help us with our skills out there. Because let me tell you something, and I mentioned this in the book repeatedly, that if you know something about American football, and it's more and more popular in the United States and indeed around the world with women as well as men. And in Mexico, American football is the most popular sport for people under 40 years of age. And then it's popular now in China. It's they have the China American Football League, and they also have another league in China, and Japan and Korea and Brazil. Millions of people tune in to the Super Bowl from Brazil. And recently, this past autumn, when I was watching a game, I tuned into a game on the internet, and it was in Portuguese. It was really, really interesting to listen to it in Portuguese. I didn't know what they were saying, except when they used a word from English that wasn't translatable. When they said touchdown, but they gave it with the Portuguese accent. So it was really interesting. And what I was going to say, if you are, no matter what your profession is, if you know something about this and you're dealing with, especially if you're dealing with Americans or you're going to an American university, it's going to connect you with your goal, your objectives. If you're at the university, you're going to feel more connected to the student environment. If you're doing business, all things being equal, and you're doing business with a company, and your company is just as good as another company, you're all the same, but you know something about American football, that could put you over the top to make that same. Americans love, people love, not just Americans, but people love to talk about things that they are interested in. And if you talk about their interests, they're going to love you. They're going to think you're the best person imaginable. So I've spoken, and I hope that we will meet again. I really had a closing song to play, but anyway, it didn't work out. So I hope to see you back on Friday, and please come back and bring back a friend. And it'll be anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour, no more than that. Okay, thank you.
Same time, 5 p.m.
5 p.m. Yes. Thank you for coming, and if you bring a friend, okay? And take care.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Take care. Nice to see you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.